She texted, "You're not ambitious enough. I need a go-getter." I wrote back, "Understood." Then I applied the ambition she wanted to finding her replacement. Her shock when she met my new girlfriend, who actually appreciated my drive. Original post. I, 32, male, work as a project manager at a mid-sized engineering firm. Good job, decent salary, around 85K. Been there 6 years. My girlfriend Jessica, 29, and I had been together for 4 years, living together for 2. The text came last Monday at 2 p.m. while I was in a meeting. Had to check it because she never texts during work hours. "We need to talk. You're not ambitious enough for me. I need a go-getter, someone who matches my energy. You're too comfortable being mediocre." I stared at my phone for a solid minute. My coworker nudged me to pay attention to the presentation. That evening, she was already packing when I got home. "Jess, what's going on?" She didn't even look up. Read my text. "I've been thinking about this for months. Months. We just went to your sister's wedding together. You introduced me to your grandparents. Yeah, well, that was before I realized you're never going to be more than this." She gestured vaguely at our apartment. "Assistant manager at some random company. Project manager. Whatever. Same difference. You've been in the same position for 3 years. I got promoted twice in 6 years. That's actually pretty good. Troy makes 6 figures. He just got promoted to senior director at his firm. He's 30. Troy, her coworker, who she'd been mentioning a lot lately. So, this is about Troy. This is about you lacking ambition. Troy is just an example of what a real man accomplishes." The entitlement in her voice was staggering. This woman who worked part-time as a yoga instructor, whose car insurance I paid, whose student loans I'd been helping with, was calling Emmy unambitious. "Jess, you work 15 hours a week. I'm building my brand. My Instagram has 3,000 followers. That's not a career. That's a hobby. See, this is why we're done. You don't support my vision." Troy gets it. He says I could be huge in the wellness space. She zipped up her suitcase. "Where you going?" "My sister's place. Don't contact me. I need to focus on elevating my life." And she left. 4 years. Just walked out because I wasn't ambitious enough. I sat in our living room, my living room now, and typed back one word. Understood. Then I did something I hadn't done in 4 years. I updated my LinkedIn to single. Update 1. 2 weeks later. The audacity started almost immediately. 3 days after she left, I get a Venmo request. $400 for my share of utilities. The apartment she voluntarily left. The utilities in my name declined. Then came the text from an unknown number. Her sister Madison Jess says, "You're being petty about the utilities. Just pay it so she can move on." She moved out. That's the definition of moving on. You know, she's struggling financially right now. Maybe she should date Troy then. He makes 6 figures, remember? Radio silence after that. But here's where I decided to take Jessica's advice about ambition. If she wanted to go get her, I'd show her what that actually meant. First, I started hitting the gym at 5 a.m. instead of after work. Not for her, for me. But I made sure to post the occasional workout pic on Instagram. Nothing thirsty, just proof of dedication. Second, I enrolled in an executive MBA program. Night classes, online modules. Expensive, yes, but I've been thinking about it for years. Jessica leaving freed up about $600 per month I'd been spending on her expenses. Third, and this is the good part, I started networking hard. Every industry event, every after-work mixer, every professional development workshop, that's where I met Natalie. Natalie, 31F, was presenting at a fintech conference I attended. VP of Strategic Development at a startup MIT grad and genuinely interesting to talk to. We grabbed coffee after her presentation to discuss her thoughts on project management in emerging markets. Your questions during the Q&A were insightful, she said. Thanks. I'm actually working on something similar at my company. Really? Tell me more. We talked for 2 hours. Not once did she call me unambitious. In fact, When I mentioned the MBA program, she offered to connect me with her mentor who taught at the business school. Meanwhile, Jessica was documenting her elevation journey on social media. Lots of motivational quotes over sunset photos. Surround yourself with people who match your energy and never settle for mediocrity. The funny part, Troy never appeared in any photos. Weird for someone who got her vision. A friend who still followed her told me she was still at Madison's teaching yoga at a budget gym and had started a GoFundMe for a wellness retreat certification in Bali. Goal, $5,000, raised, $127. But I wasn't focused on that. I was too busy actually being ambitious. Natalie and I met for coffee again. Then dinner, then a weekend conference where we both presented. She was brilliant, driven, and actually accomplished. Plus, she thought my job was impressive. Project management is undervalued, she said over drinks. You're literally the person making sure $1 million initiatives succeed. My ex thought it was mediocre. Your ex sounds like she didn't understand what ambition actually looks like. Update 2. 6 weeks later. The entitlement escalated to Olympic levels. Jessica found out about Natalie through LinkedIn. Natalie and I weren't even officially dating yet, but we'd connected on there. And apparently Jessica was stalking my profile. The text came at 11 p.m. on a Thursday. Who is this Natalie woman? Bit quick to move on, don't you think? I didn't respond. Hello, I'm talking to you. Still nothing. Whatever. She looks old anyway. Then came the phone call. I let it go to voicemail. Really, Brian? Really? You're ignoring me now? After 4 years and now you're dating some corporate robot. This is so typical. You probably met her at one of those boring networking things you never wanted to go to when we were together. God, you're so predictable. The irony of her calling networking events boring when she left me for not being ambitious enough. Chef's kiss. Sorry, I mean deeply satisfying. But the real entitlement showed up the next week. I came home from class to find Jessica in my apartment standing in the kitchen going through the mail. What the hell are you doing here? I still have a key. I came to get some things I forgot. It's been 6 weeks and you could have called. You weren't answering my texts because we're broken up. You ended it. Remember the whole lacking ambition thing? She looked around the apartment, saw my NBA textbooks on the table, my new workout gear, the certificate from a professional development course on the wall. You're doing all this now. Why didn't you do this when we were together? I was. You just never noticed because you were too busy building your brand. That's not Troy said. How is Troy, by the way? Her face flushed. Troy has a girlfriend. What? He has a girlfriend. Had one the whole time she was visiting family in Korea. I actually laughed. So the ambitious go-getter you left me for was taken. He led me on. He said I was special. That I had potential to be his side piece. Screw you, Brian. At least I tried to improve my situation by leaving someone who paid half your bills to chase a guy who was never available. That's when she saw it. A photo on my phone screen. Natalie and me at the conference, both in professional attire, both holding award plaques. I'd won recognition for a process improvement initiative that saved my company $200. Is that her? Yes, she's actually pretty. She's brilliant. Jessica's jaw clenched. Whatever. I need $2,000 for what? The Bali retreat. It'll transform my career. Your career of teaching 4 yoga classes a week. It's about building something bigger. You wouldn't understand. Actually, I understand perfectly. You want me to fund your vacation because Troy won't and your GoFundMe failed. It's not a vacation. It's professional development. Then professionally develop yourself with your own money. I don't have, I don't have. This is financial abuse. This is financial independence. Yours specifically. Isn't that what ambitious people have? She grabbed her purse. I'll tell everyone how you treated me. How you changed the moment I left. I did change for the better. And everyone already knows you left me for a taken man after calling me unambitious while you lived off my salary. Madison said you were always a jerk. Madison asked me for money for you 3 days after you left. The audacity runs in the family. She stormed toward the door then turned. That woman will see through you eventually. Natalie, she already sees me clearly. That's why she's interested. The door slam was magnificent. I changed the locks the next day. Update 3. 3 months later, Jessica went nuclear, but in the most pathetic way possible. First, she tried to remix history on social media. Posted this long thing about surviving a toxic relationship and finding herself after years of being held back. Some people bought it, but most who knew us both just stayed quiet. Then she tried to crash a professional networking event she knew I'd be at. Showed up in a cocktail dress to a business casual mixer, walked straight up to Natalie and me. "You must be the new girlfriend," she said to Natalie, fake smile plastered on. Natalie, God bless her, just extended her hand. Natalie Chen, VP of Strategic Development. "And you are the power move of introducing herself with her title." Beautiful. "I'm Jessica, Brian's ex, the one he lived with for 4 years. "Oh, the yoga instructor. Brian mentioned you were focusing on your Instagram career. How's that going?" Jessica's eye twitched. "It's going great. I'm actually launching a wellness coaching program." "That's nice. What's your certification in?" "Life experience is my certification." "Interesting business model." I stood there trying not to smile as Natalie politely demolished her. "Brian tells me you encouraged him to be more ambitious." Natalie continued, "I should thank you. His drive is one of the things I find most attractive about him. His drive, the MBA program, the promotion track he's on, his innovative project solutions. Very impressive." "You got promoted?" "I hadn't, but I was being considered for senior project manager." Natalie was manifesting it into existence through sheer confidence. "Brian, we should go. The keynote's starting." Natalie smiled at Jessica. "Nice meeting you. Good luck with the Instagram." As we walked away, Jessica called out, "He's only doing all this to spite me." Natalie whispered to me, "Is that true?" "Started that way. Now I'm doing it because I actually like who I'm becoming." Good answer. But Jessica wasn't done. She started texting my mom. "Mrs. Patterson, I'm concerned about Brian. He's changed. He's not the man I fell in love with." Mom responded, "You're right. He's better. Please stop contacting me." Then Jessica tried the nuclear option. She called my work, told HR I was creating a hostile work environment by dating someone in the industry. HR called me in very confused. "Brian, we got a complaint that you're dating someone." "Yes. Her name's Natalie." "Does she work here?" "No, different company entirely." "Then what's the issue?" "My ex-girlfriend seems to think my personal life is her business." "Your ex called to complain that you're dating someone new?" "Correct." HR actually laughed. "Okay. Well, there's no policy against dating people who don't work here. Case closed, I guess." But they documented the harassment, which came in handy later. The peak entitlement came when Jessica showed up at my apartment again. This time she'd somehow convinced Madison to come with her and they brought Troy. I opened the door to all 3 of them. "Can we talk?" Jessica said, "No, please. Troy wants to apologize." Troy, this mythical 6F figure senior director, looked like a regular dude in khakis who'd rather be anywhere else. "I don't need his apology. He led me on," Jessica said. Telling Troy. Troy shifted uncomfortably. "I may have given mixed signals." "Mixed signals?" Madison jumped in. "You promised her you'd leave your girlfriend." "I absolutely did not." "You said I was special." Jessica screeched. This was happening in my hallway. My neighbors were definitely listening. "Okay, everyone needs to leave now. Not until you hear me out." Jessica pushed past me into the apartment. The others followed. And there was Natalie sitting on my couch working on her laptop, looking absolutely unbothered. "Oh, good witnesses," she said, pulling out her phone. "Please continue your home invasion while I record." Madison stepped forward. "Who do you think you?" "I think I'm the woman calling the police if you don't leave in the next 30 seconds. Troy was already backing toward the door. "Jess, we should go." "No, he owes me." "For what?" I asked. "For moving on, for becoming everything I wanted you to be, but only after I left." So, you're mad that I took your advice? You were supposed to fight for me, beg me to come back. Not this. Natalie stood up. Jessica, right. Let me explain something. Brian didn't become ambitious for you or because of you. He already was. You were just too self-absorbed to notice. Now, please leave before I call both the police and my attorney. Your attorney? Did Brian not mention? My father's a partner at Richardson Klein and Associates. Harassment and trespassing charges are kind of their specialty. That was a lie. Her father was a dentist, but Jessica didn't know that. They left. Troy practically ran to his car. Final update. It's been 6 months since Jessica sent that text about ambition. Update on her. She never made it to Bali. The GoFundMe topped out at $341. She's still teaching at the budget gym, still living with Madison, and according to mutual friends, still posting motivational quotes about knowing your worth and leveling up. Troy. Turns out he wasn't a senior director. He was a junior account manager who drove a leased Mercedes he couldn't afford. His actual girlfriend dumped him when Jessica kept showing up at his office. He got transferred to a different branch. Madison still occasionally texts me asking if I want to do the right thing and help Jessica financially. I never respond. As for me, I did get that promotion. Senior project manager, 20% raise plus bonuses. The MBA program is going well, maintaining a 3.8 GPA while working full-time. Turns out I'm pretty ambitious when I'm doing it for myself instead of trying to prove something to someone who contributes nothing. Natalie and I are officially together. She's incredible, actually accomplished, genuinely supportive, and she laughs when I read her Jessica's old texts about me being mediocre. Mediocre men don't single-handedly save their companies $200K, she said last week. Also, mediocre men don't make me feel the way you do. We're planning a trip to Tokyo next month. I'm paying for it with my bonus. The bonus from the promotion Jessica said I'd never get because I lacked vision. The funniest part, Jessica recently started dating another guy from her gym. Posted about how he's different from her ex and understands her journey. He's a personal trainer who lives with 3 roommates and drives a 2003 Honda Civic. So much for needing a go-getter. The lesson here, when someone tells you you're not enough while they're contributing nothing, believe them. They're telling you they're not enough. And when they leave to chase their delusions of grandeur, let them go. Use that energy to actually improve yourself. Jessica thought ambition meant dating up while doing nothing yourself. She thought success meant Instagram followers and retreat certifications funded by others. She confused actual achievement with the appearance of it. Real ambition is quiet. It's 5 a.m. workouts nobody sees. It's night classes after long work days. It's building something sustainable, not chasing taken men who lie about their job titles. She wanted me to be more ambitious. Careful what you wish for. I became so ambitious, I outgrew not just her memory, but any version of myself that would have settled for someone so entitled. Thanks for following this journey. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with an actual accomplished woman who thinks my career is impressive. Crazy how that works when you're with someone who's not a delusional leech. Peace out.